All right, I didn't change any lyrics on this one because I figured I didn't need to. I'd love to eat turkey. I'd love to eat turkey. Love to eat turkey 'cause it's good. I love to eat turkey like a good boy should. 'Cause it's turkey to eat so good. Turkey for me, a turkey for you. Let's eat the turkey, my big brown shoe. Love to eat the turkey at the table. I once saw a movie with Betty Grable. Eat that turkey all night long. 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. Turkey lurkey do and a turkey lurkey dap. I eat that turkey and I take a nap. Oh, Thanksgiving is a special night. Jimmy Walker used to say dynamite. That's right. A turkey for the girls and a turkey for the boys. My favorite kind of pants are corduroys. A gobble gobble goo and a gobble gobble giggle. I wish that turkey only cost a nickel. Oh, I love turkey on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Well done. Well done.
I gotta say that, Mike, that has to be your best so far.
Every week, I just taught myself. Yeah,
You do.
At least you can do that. I mean, most people can't.
well,
Well, last week you didn't have a song, so you know
that's true.
it's But
Didn't have a
I
song
was
last week?
impressed. You went multiple stanzas on that.
Yeah. I mean, I had to cut a few too, but like
I haven't heard that song in ages.
a long
I know.
time. It's nearly
I've heard
30
that
years
since-
old now.
I just
What?
no way.
That CD came out in '93. Yeah.
What? That's Adam Sandler, right?
Yeah.
30 years old, Adam Sandler.
They're All Gonna Laugh at You was released in '93.
I think so. Pretty sure.
Oh my
So
god!
I was 20.
We don't have to think about our ages, do we?
I do because wow, I was thinking that like 10 years ago.
I just realized that my daughter must have been using my computer because I noticed there's a fucking sunflower attached to my microphone.
I was
Yeah,
wondering
I
about
see it. I was
that.
like, what is that? Yeah.
Hey, we each bring something new,
adorable.
you know. Jack and I are usually just messing around with these green screens, but your daughter, she really upped the game.
My new poster
I
on the
just-
wall
I-
over there.
I see it. Yeah.
It's funny. I just watched that
Yeah, let's do
episode
this.
of Lost where he brings us sunflower. Sawyer brings a sunflower to Charlotte. In the
Oh,
sidewalk.
right. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
There you go. Now you can see my new poster.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lost, Jack, I was just watching the movie The Santa Claus 2. That's the movie
Oh,
starring
Elizabeth Mitchell.
Tim Allen. Yeah.
Tim Allen.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
and
Tim
Elizabeth Mitchell is in it. I
Mhm.
think of it as more of like kind of her Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah,
I-
it was.
for all, how about
definitely
For All
surprising.
Mankind with Penny?
I know. Yeah.
Hmm.
But she's in it. I mean, yeah, but like, you hate it because, like, I mean, like we talked about last week before last, the other blonde that was in Alcatraz, she kind of steals the show.
Yes.
Sarah something.
I have pictures of me and her somewhere. I don't know where they are. I gotta find them.
You and Elizabeth Mitchell, or are you in the?
Both actually. Yeah, because she was. I did. What show did she do that was not Lost?
Elizabeth Mitchell?
Uh,
Revolution.
V.
was it V? Okay.
It was
Yeah.
V. Yeah. So I did. I was doing interviews. I did an interview on the press junket for V, and then I did the press junket for Alcatraz, and that's where I met Jorge.
Hmm.
Was actually at that same press junket where I
Alcatraz.
interviewed.
I forgot.
Yeah, and when I forgot her name. Is it Sarah? Is that her name?
Sarah
I don't even
something.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember, like, she was like the most down to earth interview that I did that day. Like, I felt like I was just talking to somebody I just met at the bar. She was she was delightful, and I think I fell in love with her for at least a half an hour. But she was amazing.
It's amazing how you can do that with those Hollywood people. Like you just look at them, you're like,
Hollywood
wow, you're
people.
so beautiful, and like you don't, and you're and like this person's talking to me, like.
But that was like that like afternoon was crazy to me because we also met and interviewed Morena Baccarin like at that same time.
Was she is down to earth?
She was like godly, like you could tell she kind of like commanded the room, and she kind of just like floated through, and you're like, whoa. But no, it was fun, man. That was a surreal time when we were doing that press stuff, and it was a ton of fun. I've met and spoken to some really cool people just because we pretended that we were press. But I guess technically we were.
You didn't have to pretend to be press to talk to us.
That's true.
I think we're pretty cool, right?
Yeah, not bad.
I don't think I ever told y'all this story. Like, I got invited to. I went on a date with this one girl a couple times, but it just didn't work out. And then she had a birthday party in just south of Pasadena, and was like, "Oh, like come to this outdoor pub area. Like it's like a lot of locals all hang out there, and blah blah blah." And like,
is that when you were allowed to?
Yeah, this was 2017, I think. And so I don't know anyone there, so I'm just mingling, talking to people, and I start talking to this really just beautiful woman, and she's just talking to me, just super friendly and all this, and then I'm thinking like, wow, like this is probably the best game I've ever had. Like, like if I'm going to say, and then of course her husband walks up, and then I realize who they are. Like, well, someone tells me who they are. So the girl was, I never say her name right. It's Deechin Lachman, who was in Altered Carbon. She's like half Nepalese and half English or something. And then her husband was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was like the extra that's always in every episode. It was like the pilot and all these things like that. And like two of the coolest people I ever met. But it's one of those moments where you're thinking like, why is this beautiful woman talking to me? I don't know. I'm just talking.
I've had a similar story, and I don't know. Forgive me if I've told it before. I probably have. I tend to do that. But Kolke and we were down in Nashville because somehow we had convinced MTV to send he and I to cover the Country Music Awards, which is really weird. But we're down there, and we went to this after party where I met people I shouldn't have met. Like, like I was hanging out, like crushing beers with Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. And then I started talking because we had like a handler type of person from MTV that was there to make sure we got into parties and gave us
bears have
credit
handlers.
Card. What?
Right. Bears have handlers.
Yeah. Well, they had a person that drew the short straw and had to like cater to us throughout Nashville to make sure we got into clubs and got into parties and such. And so we got to this party, and I started talking to this group of people, like this really cute girl and a couple of dudes just kind of hanging out in the corner. I'm just like shooting the shit, talking with these guys, and just talking about being from Boston, and I forgot where they were from, but like, and it was talking for like a half hour at least. And it was just a really great conversation. I felt great. I was, meeting people down in Nashville. And then the handler person from MTV was like, "Well, how'd your interview go?" I'm like, "What?" She goes, "How did the interview go with them, with those guys?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You have no idea who you were just talking to, do you?" I'm like, "No." And it was Lady Antebellum, who have since then have risen and fallen. I guess I don't know. Are they still popular? Who knows? But it was just totally surreal. Like I had no idea who I was talking to, and then lo and behold, I probably gave them the break that they needed from press that week. I would assume, but who knows?
They could just be themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's what's interesting about, especially like that, like people that are on the up and coming, like because they're just so happy anyone's paying attention to them. Because I remember First Aid Kit, which was the two sisters out of Sweden who were really talented singer songwriters, and they were hanging out on the rooftop of the Ace, which is a club. It's goth theater in downtown LA, and like it has a local rooftop pool. It's actually not at the Ace; it's like the next building over. And so a lot of people after the show is over will go to that place just to have drinks, and hang out with. And they were up there just hanging out by the pool, like just like us right now, and you can walk up like, "Hey, I enjoyed your show," and they're like, "Oh, thanks," and like, "Come hang out," like Alice Cooper, and Waynesboro, like, "Come hang out with us," and you're like, "Yeah, I'll just hang out."
We're not worthy.
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
Great old.
And Matt just hangs out with dead people next door.
He does.
I'm no, not doing that. Not this time of year. So
No, not this time of year. Why?
no, I'm okay. So unrelated to any ghost activity and what have you, but this crazy thing happened. I meant to pull it up so that I could show you guys a photo of this. But over the weekend, I think it was Sunday, my neighbor's tree fell.
Wait, the
And-
dead neighbor's tree?
No. It's actually a different
Did
neighbor.
the dead people hear it?
Well, it woke the people that owned the dead people's house because they didn't wake them, but they were knocking on my door. They were like, "You didn't hear it?" And I'm like, "What?" And we come out and there's this tree, and it just missed my truck.
Wow.
Just this much. I mean, if the tree had fallen ever so slightly the other way, it would have.
And you would have got a new truck.
I don't know with what insurance. So,
Well,
because it's not like it's fully covered.
Who owned the tree?
So, my neighbor Bob.
Well, Bob would owe you a new truck.
And Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, but it was on the street, and I don't know how much that would really like come back to.
Well,
I'm not going to come back to bite Bob about anything, but
why don't you want to bite Bob? Bob not
he's a
bite
good
worthy.
neighbor. He's a good neighbor, and
So he works for State Farm.
Let me work on pulling up a picture of my truck. So anyway, it was just kind of one of those like crazy like moments where it's like, whew, dodged a bullet there. But it did hit the roof of the truck, not the roof, but the hood, and it dented up the hood.
Bob's
really
going to
bad.
pay. You want to make Bob pay?
I'm just amazed that it ran. It's not like it like crushed or split the, not split the engine, but I'm just glad that it didn't dent or push anything in a way that like, I'd have to get something fixed for it to
Is
run.
Bob giving you a hard time about it?
No.
When we fly down to our documentary, since we're there, it's no problem to talk to Bob.
No,
We're gonna talk to Bob.
He's a good
Bob,
guy.
you son of a bitch. Pay the man.
So now you don't want us to talk to Bob?
I don't really think I want you to talk to any of my neighbors. So
What about Bob?
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah, what about
What about Bob?
Hey, Bob, are you sailing? You want to be sailing? Pay for the fucking truck, Bob.
Hey, Bob, you like apples? Why don't you bob for them apples?
I didn't mean it to sound like a really mean, jerky thing to say. I just
I did.
fair.
Oh, my goodness gracious. The
So
plot
you're- so
thickens
wait, so
with your
what-
neighborhood, man.
Why did the dead neighbors come over to tell you, not Bob?
He was busy calling the police to report the fact that because the tree was blocking the road, so the city had to do something.
Was he calling the police because he thought someone was trying to steal his tree? And that way he'd get out of paying you?
So wait, did this dude even offer to repair the hood of your truck?
No, but I didn't.
Well, then
I
Bob's a
didn't.
shitty neighbor.
Bob's a
honestly,
dick.
What a dick. Like, if my tree fell down and then subsequently bashed through my neighbor's car,
Yeah, your insurance should cover it.
yeah, I mean, I'll pay the
Homeowner's
deductible to
insurance.
get your
The
car
homeowner's
fixed.
insurance, yeah. That's what I mean.
I mean, chances are the repairs will probably cost less than the deductible, so you can avoid going through insurance altogether.
I don't even like Bob anymore.
It's true.
Man,
I don't even want to talk to Bob. Fuck him.
Fuck Bob.
Bob's
what?
a dick.
No, but
Episode
you guys
title. Fuck Bob.
Fuck Bob.
I don't know if I
Oh,
can do
you
that.
guys are being really mean. But he was a good friend of mine. I'm
We had
trying
that
to
one-
find
He used
this,
to be a
but,
good friend of yours until he
Yeah.
didn't pay for your car.
Yeah, Bob's a good friend.
What Matt doesn't know is that Bob's got a What About Bob podcast, in which right now, this week, he's talking about how he screwed over his neighbor from paying for the repairs on his truck when his tree fell down.
Get this. The guy didn't even ask me to fix his car.
Baby steps to fix Matt's car.
This is just so annoying that I can't pull this up. Oh, I see, and it's saved in some weird format. Okay.
Oh, you have a picture of the tree?
Yeah, I do, and
put some
I
evidence to document
it. I should have taken a picture of the tree from a different angle though, because I feel like it didn't really do it justice. So, but
let's see it.
Sorry, this is a lot of anticipation for probably little.
Well, while you're pulling up the picture of Bob's tree that demolished your truck, I will show
that almost killed you and your family.
I know. I'll show you something I'm excited about that arrived today via post.
Oh, cool!
Ready Player 2.
The sequel to Ready Player One by
Yeah.
Ernest Cline was released today in hardcover, on Audible, and on Kindle. So I listened to the first chapter or two chapters at work today. My plan is to go back and forth between reading the book and, of course, checking out the Audible version because it's narrated by no other than Will Wheaton.
Or do you skip ahead when you're reading the book and then you skip ahead to the book? Okay.
Well, I mean, if I had I didn't buy the Kindle. Maybe I did. Did I buy the Kindle version? I don't even know. If you had the Kindle version, the cool thing is they use it called Whisper Sync, which it'll synchronize where you are from Audible into the Kindle book. But I don't think I bought the Kindle version. I think I just bought the Audible version, and I'll just have to do the old manual skip with the hardcover book. But super excited for the second edition of the Ready Player One series, also known as Ready Player 2. Interesting take so far on how they continued the story.
Does it happen like years later, or is it like right at
not too far, but it does take some time.
Did they make this a movie?
Yeah.
I remember.
The movie is slightly different than the book.
Yeah,
they did.
I still haven't seen the movie.
The first book is outstanding. I've read the first book probably 3 or 4 times, listened to it about the same amount of times as well. Highly recommend Ready Player One. I will give you my better review when I finish reading the book of Ready Player 2. But little spoiler treat. Not all is well. Oh, dude.
Holy crap.
It almost looks like it's through your windshield, but it's not.
Yeah. It does, but it's not.
Spoiler alert is that not all is well in the future of Ready Player 2.
Well, I can see that.
And you're going to get into a...
Wait, go back. Can you go back that picture, that photo, Matt?
Oh, sure. I thought I had another one here too, but
yeah, I was going to read Ready Player 2, but I heard Bob was a big fan of it. Since he screwed over Matt, I'm not reading it.
But that's what I like about sequels, or it's like if you did Star Wars and that's it, like it's like, oh, you just blew up the Death Star. It's like you want to see what's happening.
Is that your house straight ahead?
Huh?
My house isn't really in it. The white thing on all the way to the right.
Wait, hold on a second. Are you parked in front of Bob's house?
Yeah, this was the funny thing.
Oh, that changes everything.
That's why you're being a whole I call you the P word. But this is why you're getting a little defensive, because deep down that you actually committed a crime here.
No, why is it a crime to park on the street?
Not a crime.
Well, you're one of those neighbors. You're one of those
violation.
Why weren't you parked in front of your house?
Okay, because his son sometimes parks in front of our house. And there's been a lot of workers right across the street from Bob as they're renovating.
You sound a little agitated by the fact his son parks in front of your house.
No, I don't care. It's just when I come home, it was just where I parked. It's just the odds of it still missing my truck by that much. I don't have a top-down view. I didn't.
Is this a download from a digital camera?
What do you mean?
Judging by the file name, did you get that from a digital camera, like an SD card?
No, it was taken from my Apple.
From your phone? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't bust your balls for that then.
So there you go. But for some reason, my apples aren't communicating because I can't seem to get shit together. Whatever.
Yeah, sounds like an ID10T issue, maybe. You getting the ID10T error?
No, it's just slow moving mentally today. I'll try to pop this.
Did you have your coffee today?
I'm actually drinking tea. I thought about doing coffee, but so not that it matters. So it's amazing how basically the hood of this is really the only damage that you can.
That's some. Right. It looks like it's not. Your hood's no longer level, right?
It looks like you're
right. No, it's
that looks serious. Like the 400th take of Tawny Katane in the Whitesnake video right there. You gotta get that fixed.
It legitimately a branch fell on it, and
right there. That's a huge. Man, that's big.
Yeah, I told Bob. I said, "Hey, your tree ran into my truck." And he said, "What is your truck doing parked in front of my house?"
See? Did he say that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. What a dick! I love it.
No, we're totally seriously.
That makes total sense. I probably would have asked you the same thing.
Bob and I are really good friends. Our birthdays, get this. Our birthdays are 1 day apart, and he's exactly 30 years older than me. And
so Bob's an old man.
Really old.
Our anniversary, this is the crazier part, our anniversary is only 1 day apart as well. So,
are you sure Bob? Are you sure that Bob exists? Is this one of those things where we don't know your split personalities and
it's actually your tree.
Is his real name?
No, he's a good guy.
It'd been more fun. It'd been more enjoyable though if it was a dead people's house.
I think this dead person game that also, I started applying it to other movies that I watch. So recently we watched Home Alone as a family. It's like a holiday movie, right? So we come on, and it's been a while. So I was like, what if Kevin's really just a ghost, and he's not really there at all? Like he's actually dead, and that this is the spirit of this dead kid haunting this house. Meanwhile, the other old man that he meets is also a dead spirit that's haunting the other house.
The old man is Bob.
No, you're
Bob. You're Kevin.
Home Alone.
You're Kevin in this movie, and Bob's the old guy.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I'm just putting it out there.
Now, why would Kevin's mom be so in a hurry to get back to her dead son?
Because she's still tormented by the death of her young child.
Wow.
Then why was she going on vacation in the first place?
Because she was trying to get away.
She was trying to escape from it. Yeah,
she wanted time to relax.
Mm-hmm.
So why would the aftershave affect?
The aftershave is just funny antics. It's like what ghosts do when we're not at home.
Yeah. I used to make my daughter do that all the time.
Does Casper ever really need to eat anything? No, it just goes right through him, but it's still funny.
Well, Slimer eats a lot.
See, it goes right through him as well.
Yeah.
It's really truly about the fact that the ghost actually saves their house from being taken over by these bandits.
Mm-hmm. The wet bandits. Get it right.
Yeah.
And no duo has ever endured more pain.
Well, he would have murdered them 10 times over if that crap would have really happened. Especially the paint can to the head.
You think Joe Pesci was saying, "Can I just fucking shoot him?" You think I'm funny? Pop.
You don't quite see the nail go through his foot, but the tar on the stairs.
Yeah. Did you know?
And how did he clean up all the tar on the stairs?
For real? Yeah.
Well, it didn't happen. He's a ghost.
True. Those are ectoplasm. I just got.
Boom.
Did you know? Because you said that line, Jack. Did you know that's a true story? Do you think I'm funny to you? Because Joe Pesci grew up in that kind of family, like the mob and around those people and stuff like that, and that really happened to him.
So he's not acting.
Well, he was a younger guy, and because I read about this, he told Scorsese this story, so they put that line and that scene in the movie just from that story that he told him. He said that he was talking to a guy, and guy was busting his balls, but he was basically going like, oh, what do you mean by funny? You know, basically it's the exact same thing in the scene. And so it was just like,
you got a funny way of telling a story.
Yeah. And then like, there's a lot of stuff about that movie that you don't really pick up on. Like, you know, like when Joe Pesci's just being a complete dick to like the owner of the restaurant, you know, like beating him up and like, you know, embarrassing him in front of his things. And he looks over at Ray, whatever the other actor's name is, the main character.
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta. Yeah. He says, you're supposed to be doing this too.
Henry.
Yeah, Henry. Yeah, because you're supposed to be doing this too. And it's because like that's what they're supposed to do is to make the business owners fearful to reach out to the mob bosses for protection. And it's things like that you don't really pick up on that, you know, if you just watch it kind of casually. I'm like,
it's a great movie, but that's my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah. Do you know that that My Blue Heaven is kind of like a sequel to it with Steve Martin, same character.
Really?
Yeah. It's written by the husband, I think, or they're written by like a married couple. Like they were researching the same thing. And so like the wife wrote My Blue Heaven and the husband wrote Goodfellas.
That's interesting.
Well, didn't the real Henry die recently, or
maybe
did he? I know he was still in hiding for a while because he's a rat.
Yeah,
fucking rat.
It would, you know, I've been racking my brain, about verses, because we had that really great one that I won.
Sun shines on dog's ass.
You got that right. And so, mob movies, but, wouldn't Godfather just win just by default? Would everybody just pick out?
No, because it's older.
You have so many, though.
Godfather. I think Goodfellas wins because
Goodfellas, Godfather. You have Casino. You have The Departed. You have
Departed. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like
that. But I don't know.
What's it, Johnny Dangerously?
Johnny Dangerously. That's a good one too. Yeah,
I don't think The Departed is in the conversation.
Then what was the other one?
But you're okay with Johnny Dangerously being in it?
Of course.
I
like the one with Sylvester Stallone too, where he's like the recovering mobster. I forget the name of that one.
Stop or My Mother Will Shoot.
No. It's a good one. I mean, it's not like a classic movie by any means, but it's more like on the same level as Johnny Dangerously. It's just a comedy about someone who's used to be in the mob. I don't know.
My Cousin Vinny.
I'll give an honorable mention to a series, Lilyhammer.
Oh
I
saw
the first season of Lilyhammer. Was it one season?
That was the first.
That's what he's in Iceland,
original.
right, or Finland, or
yeah. That was the first Netflix original.
Now, with Fargo's not really a mob movie.
No,
it can be, right?
Ocean's 11.
No,
that considered mob?
No, that's not mob. That's a heist movie. That's a
heist movie. That's true. It is a heist movie. It's not a mob. What it would like Charlie Brown Thanksgiving? Is that a mob movie?
Oh, that's a mob movie.
Mm-hmm. Nick's shaking his head vigorously, and I'm trying to think of any other mob movie.
Oh, thanks, Randy. Norway.
That would give Godfather like a run for its money.
Casino. I think not Casino. We're just talking about Goodfellas would be the only one I think that could beat it.
You also have Scarface, Road to Perdition.
Oh, Scarface, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Road to Perdition, but yeah.
Road to Perdition, I don't think it's not popular enough.
Heat, I guess, because you get, De Niro and
Boondock Saints.
Oh.
You just Googled some shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm trying to remember stuff. So I'm like,
where's he coming up with these movies?
You're pretty
A Bronx Tale.
You're pretty smart there all of a sudden there, kid.
Yeah.
What about Bugsy Malone?
Those are the good ones, yeah. I mean, and Untouchables, which is not really, but it is.
Huh.
Yeah. That's not on there.
Thanks, Randy. What about there's that one with Scott Baio and Jodie Foster?
What?
Scott Baio and Jodie Foster.
I don't know.
Bugsy Malone. They're young kids that are supposed to be playing adults that are. You never saw this movie?
No, and you're scaring me, man. You're really scaring me.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
how do I do this? How do I pull it up here? And share
let me just say that if somebody starts talking about movies that you don't understand, check out this next commercial. Maybe it might have some answers for you. I hope
You've heard of Jodie Foster, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
You've heard of Scott Baio.
Totally try to shoot.
It was a movie where they were kids playing adults as gangsters.
Okay.
And it was cream pies that would actually do you in. They had cream pie guns. But Bugsy Malone. I mean, come on.
Bugsy,
help me out. Help me out here, someone. Help me out here. Anybody? Bueller? I'm telling you, it was a great
talking about the movie that Scott Baio was in called Stoned. I think there was one that it was like a.
I know.
Yeah, there's like one where he plays like this kid who just starts smoking, lots of J's,
and he had Reefer Madness.
Yeah, I think he's out like with his brother, like in a canoe, and because he's been smoking, he like accidentally like hits the canoe over his brother.
Was this like an after school special?
It was totally like late 70s, early 80s out there. Like,
and Alan Thicke just does the voiceover.
That's what I was thinking. Bugsy Malone was on the same.
This is a canoe on drugs.
Oh, and then Analyze This. That's a good one.
Ah, great movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Or Analyze That.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, yeah, sequel wasn't.
I like how Will Fry mentions Godfather Part 2.
Part 2.
Like why?
But not
why
Part 3.
I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, like that's a real outside of the box kind of thing. You pick The Godfather? I'm picking Empire Strikes Back, motherfucker.
But could Godfather 2 beat Godfather 1?
No.
Totally.
She says
we're just not on the same page.
Sherry says, Jack, I need to download IMDb on my phone. Why? I know it's Bugsy Malone. I know what's going on. It's these three that don't know.
Bugsy Malone is the mafia equivalent to the Brady
Whole 9
Bunch
yards,
for Jack right now.
No shit. We can agree.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done with the Brady Bunch.
But seriously, Godfather Part 2.
1972 called, Jack. They want their binge back.
Well, Cousin Oliver showed up now, and that's when the show just goes fucking downhill. Fucking Oliver. His little bowl haircut. Fuck Oliver.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy? Changing the subject, sorry. But I read the other day that in April of 2021, 6 months away,
I'll finally get a shot.
everybody who was born the year that Kurt Cobain killed himself will be officially older than Kurt Cobain was when he died.
Yeah.
Wow.
Died in late 93. So, yeah.
So he was 27.
27.
27?
One of the 27-year-olds, yeah.
Yeah, because, wow.
Well,
that's what's crazy because, I'm not quite 40 yet, but I'm quickly approaching that same period of, am I going to live longer than John Lennon? So it's
I've never once thought that in my life.
Oh. Well, that's just sad.
Could you imagine that?
Is somebody going to come up and ask, aren't you Nick from the Ramblecast?
Yeah. Can I get an autograph? Yeah, sure.
Wow.
And then
I want to be Nick from the
randomly, Bob's tree is going to fall in your car in the middle of Colorado.
And Bob's going to say, you know what? Fuck it. Too bad you don't have your
why are you parking in front of my tree?
What's scary is there wasn't room for me to park today in front of my house, so I had to park a little bit further down where there's another tree, and I'm just like,
how do we know that you didn't hit the tree parking because you were drunk?
How do we know you cut the tree down?
No, it sat there for a really long time. I was playing backgammon with my wife.
Well, that's just a perfect alibi, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can't testify against you.
Is that what
you
call
one
cleaning
too many
gutters?
bees knees the other night and shit at the fan.
After a long night of skinning dolphins, I come home and cut down
too many holding calls by the Colts.
I did think, Nick, speaking of dolphins, I did think, do the trees know I work for a paper company?
Right.
The hits out.
Revenge
They're like,
fuck this guy. He's killing our brothers.
It's a gangsta move, nature, but I read you loud and clear.
It was passive aggressive though, because they didn't land
It's
correctly.
like the next ones.
It's a warning.
Well, they were sending a message.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
It wasn't a horse head. It wasn't a horse head.
Hey, going back to Goodfellas, We've all seen it, right? We've all seen it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's his name's character? De Niro. What was De Niro's character? Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Was Jimmy trying to kill when he was saying, "Go down there. The dresses are down there." Was he going to whack Karen? Was Karen going to get whacked? Because no one goes to jail, Karen. But was she going to get whacked?
That's a good question. You'll never know.
But she thought if she went down there, you go down there.
Yeah. Well, it was an odd scene, but I don't know.
No one has an opinion. I mean, you watch the movie.
I mean, I don't see the point in whacking her though. Like, what would it really do?
Sends a message to Henry.
Yeah,
I can get you anywhere, anytime.
Over some dresses.
Nobody likes a rat, Henry. Nobody, Henry. Nobody.
Yeah. Going back to Ready Player 2, though. I'm glad.
No one has an answer. I bet. No. Hey, can you give me Can you give me Bob's number? I bet you Bob has an opinion.
Maybe
I just don't care.
Bobby. Bob just wants you to breathe and relax, and don't hassle him because he's local. But yeah, I'm glad. Good.
Jack and I having these red backgrounds, it's a little weird. It's a little much. So
I just realized that you have the country of Turkey's flag on the back.
Gobble, gobble, goo, and gobble, gobble, leave.
That is what that was.
Yeah.
The flag of Turkey, by the way.
Who made the cranberry sauce?
That was a good one.
That
Matt,
was an excellent
one. Yeah.
Excellent, Matt. Yeah,
that's great.
I like the angle. I mean, it's really good.
Is this better?
Oh, thanks. Yeah. No, he was talking to me.
No, I'm just saying, is mine better because it's not red. I know he's talking about you. Jesus Christ, spoils me on the game.
That one actually didn't take me that long, and I didn't think I did that great a job on it. But
I thought it was excellent. I was like, okay, where's the RCAD? Excellent.
I just bought a can. Actually, I haven't bought a can of cranberry sauce in forever, but due to the circumstances of this year, Thanksgiving is going to be just the four of us in my family.
Just the four
of us.
I learned the other day that the majority of cranberries come from two spots in North America.
One of them is in the water.
One of them is Massachusetts, and the other one, one of them is the Providence of Wisconsin. Jess's home.
Isn't it those two guys in the water?
Yeah, they just kind of wait around.
Yeah.
Really?
Cape Cod is.
Are they peeing in the water as they're getting the cranberries?
Why would they be in the water?
Well, I mean,
have you seen the commercials?
Yeah.
I don't think they're peeing in the water.
Yeah, cranberries are a way of life around here down on the Cape. Like it's cranberry everything. Like that's it's kind of a thing.
So it's like paprika of Hungary.
It's the curry.
The curry of India, yeah. Or
India. This would be the curry of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Just outside of Massachusetts, right?
No, that's full-blown Massachusetts.
But like I've been trying to...
Full blown.
What's at the top? What's at the top? Is that just
what are you talking about?
What is that shiny thing on
the spoon?
No. There, right there.
Right
above your shoulder. Yeah, you got the RCAD, then go up in the corner where the ripples are, and then it stops rippling. There's like no. It's something there.
Where? The red thing or the long line?
No, you see the long line of the can.
Yeah.
And then you have nothing, and it's like a shiny thing. Nobody else sees it?
Yeah, I see, like literally smack dab in the middle of his frame.
Yeah, so what the fuck is that?
Yeah, the red thing.
That's
looks like a barcode.
Reflection.
Yeah.
It's just a reflection thing, man.
No. That's not.
It's like he's doing the weather.
Point a little higher.
Right there. I don't know.
What is that?
Jack, we just told you. It's the reflection.
Reflection of what?
The light. Like you can see the line of reflection from the top of the can to the bottom of the can.
Nah, I don't like it.
I mean, not everybody gets to the bottom of the can, but some of us can.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like cranberries, so go ahead and move on.
All right. Well, So yeah, I've been trying to talk about because Chris brought it up and we didn't finish it about Ready Player 2. I'm always happy when they make a sequel to things that show the consequences or the fallout of the first book or the first movie. Because if you just made Star Wars and they blew up the Death Star, it's like, well, what are the consequences of this action going to happen? Which is why you have Empire Strikes Back, which is really cool. Same as like with Mr. Robot, which is why I like season 2 more than season 1, because season 1's all about this one thing. But you see the fallout of that in season 2.
Season 1's better.
Season 1, though, had no surprises for me. That's what I was saying to Matt the other day. Is like watching Lost, I called every single thing that happened in season 1. I mean, I know season 1 is probably better written, but I just was like, okay.
You called the smoke monster was Man in Black?
No.
I didn't call it. Then you
I didn't say I was
everything.
talking about Mr. Robot, calling everything in season 1 a Mr. Robot.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Lost.
No, no one called Lost. No one called
you said
if you called everything in Lost, then you were a genius. I mean, you can't say that, Jack. You got one thing right, and they denied it.
They denied it because they stole it.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you know what? I hear you, Jack. I feel you.
I got more than one thing right. What are you talking about?
Just the one thing. Just the one.
No.
No one cared about Mr. Black and the white guy.
Mr. Black.
Man in Black and Jacob.
The white guy and the black guy. Seriously.
Yeah.
Suddenly he's Mr. Black?
Hey, he's Mr. Black.
Mr. Black.
So
he off himself in the Mandalorian. So
he knocked down a lot of trees too and never paid for anything.
He did. He locked. Yeah, maybe that's what it was, Matt. Maybe it was Man in Black knocking down the tree.
Did you hear that? You didn't hear anything, did you? It was
no. Apparently, my neighbors heard some kind of noise because I did not, and he said, "Oh,
of
yeah."
Of course, your neighborhood should come noise because he has dead people buried in his backyard, and you're not guts enough to tell him.
All right, so. Before we began recording,
don't change the subject.
Because I don't really like talking about the dead people next door. It's like a sore subject for me. It's like, I don't have anything comparable. Maybe
if I had dead people next door, I'd be talking about them all the time.
I wanted to talk briefly, really quick though, The Mandalorian, because I know Chris wasn't on Owen and Brews, and. You had some thoughts about the episode, and
I did get asked to do it at 6 o'clock that night, 7 o'clock that night.
Yeah. You were? I was not asked if you could join. I would have vetoed that.
I was texted. I think he felt bad because he spoiled me on the football game because I was watching the Colts game. He's watching the Colts game.
Yeah, and I thought you were at a certain point.
It's a delay, and he goes, "Oh, overtime." I go, "Overtime." I'm not there yet.
So I felt really bad.
Oh, it's okay. I'm kidding.
So
yeah, I this episode didn't really leave me with anything that I was like, "Whoa, that was great." Right. It just
good action.
It was. There was great action.
Other than action, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Action. Yeah.
But other than that, no. It felt like that episode was rewritten.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 2 weeks, as a way to give an out if they wanted to remove Gina Carano from the series.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't.
Because that didn't happen until recently, and most of that stuff was shot.
Wait, what am I missing?
A while back, she just said, like a lot of people, they put stupid stuff up on Twitter and as political opinions, and people disagree with it.
What did she put?
Well,
that's for you to find out.
Business.
She's an anti-masker. She is not about the. She is not aligned with people in their sexual identities and so forth and so on. She has some pretty she had some pretty polarizing statements made.
So that aside, though, my biggest beef was how did the ship get fixed this fast?
That's what I was
and I think it was a bit of a show running technical error.
I was
because when and Nick and I talked about this, when the ship's coming down, Cara Dune's just like, yeah, this is great, so good to see you. If you pull up and you're driving a piece of shit, Chris, I would be like, dude, you
What
okay,
happened?
man?
What happened?
Yeah, like
your
I would be like,
falling off,
whoa.
man. Like, did a tree fall on your truck?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did a tree fall on your truck?
Did a tree fall?
Is your neighbor Bob?
I've seen this only once before. It didn't scare me enough.
But seriously, how long? Because it's only like it wasn't like what was it?
It was
couple
like 2 hours. Like, hey, let's go hit this place. You know, oh, by the way, this blue guy just called you out, and cops are gonna show up looking for you. So yeah, I don't know, like
and the cookies that Yoda, I'm sorry, the child was eating, were those the ice Oreos?
Well, macaroons.
They look like macaroons. And now,
is that what it was?
Williams Sonoma is now selling them for $50.
Shut the fuck up.
They are.
Yep.
Fuck that store.
This is where
Really?
we're at. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Dang.
Yeah, but
Maybe they can do something with the
overall,
RCAD.
It just,
What I thought was stupid, he
I
lands.
don't know.
Did they know he was coming?
I'm sure he radioed ahead and said, "Yeah, I'm coming in."
Well,
were they just standing out there for shits and giggles?
Well, but if he's on the lam, why would he be running? Why would he radio anybody?
He's not on the well. I guess he is.
But he doesn't know. He doesn't know that he's on the lam yet.
Well, he's still protecting the child.
Yeah,
He's protecting the child, but
And he knows people are after the child. Why would you radio ahead?
He thought legitimately up until this moment that he was kind of somewhat in the free and clear until he saw that Moff Gideon recording. Then he's like, "Oh snap! This was from 3 days ago. That means he's still after the kid. Ergo, I better get."
But he knew not. When he's in the school and the kids are there, and he goes, "No, he'll be safe. The kid will be safe here, even though nobody's going to feed him."
Well, you know how like some parents are. You know,
this kid constantly.
It's hard to let your kid go first day of school, man. I mean,
yeah, I get it.
It was one of the cool. There's some pretty cool Easter eggs in this episode, though. I think one of them was it IG-88's statue there in the classroom, which I thought was kind of cool. I think the best shit about this episode didn't happen on camera. So, what the fuck is going on in that base? Right. So,
what was Billy D. Williams doing?
And why is he directing this all of a sudden?
Yeah. How did Billy D. Williams go?
Are we getting the Dark Troopers?
Absolutely, that was the favorite scene. Was the very end.
Yeah. So like the things that are happening, like what was going on in those vats of those people. I think a lot of people at their first glance was like, "Oh, maybe this is them starting to build the Emperor." But I think they kind of alluded to the fact that they're utilizing the midichlorians or M count of Baby Yoda to give life and abilities to these troopers, which could be very cool.
Well, like Matt and I discussed, when you see like the bodies floating in the back to tanks, in the background you hear a variation of the Snoke theme. So that kind of gives you a little bit that this could be an Emperor or early versions of Snoke. And the Dark Troopers were never living beings. They're just like a super droid. You know, that was like the Emperor's idea to have a lot of battle droids, but have them as capable as a stormtrooper. You know,
I got you.
So,
okay.
But I mean, they even though they're calling them Dark Troopers, they might not stick with the 95 video game version of Dark Troopers.
Yeah,
who knows?
But again, my point is that the coolest shit about this episode you didn't actually see. Other than the vats.
I could agree with that. I enjoyed it for the action. I thought the action was pretty good.
Oh, the action was top notch.
To me, I was like going, okay, this is really not a story-driven thing. It's just it has some shooting and all the other crap.
Here's the deal, though. Like, Carl Weathers, like, doesn't... I can't get, behind his character. Like, I don't care. Like, I didn't... As great as the action was, right? I didn't feel that the whole Kara... what's his name in the show? Carl Weathers' character.
Grief Karga.
Grief. Like the whole Grief Kara combo thing didn't give a shit.
I thought it was Lando.
And I thought it was dumb. Like and like the guy they bring along with the speeder that gets crushed. Like,
yeah.
Like just
Horatio.
Yeah, Horatio Sands, but I didn't realize until after the fact.
I had to look it up.
That character sucks. Like I get nothing from it. Like you go from the week prior.
The week, yeah.
You go from the week prior, where like the action sequences of like the team up of of Mando and what's her nuts, the Bo-Katan and her folks.
What's her nuts?
That was just like, that was
Bring some
great. It was
beans.
just, you felt it. Like it was like, Katie Sackhoff is perfect for that role. And like getting her with the Mandalorian, the back and forth that they had was just, it was a really cool sequence. I just felt like the whole Carl Weathers Cara Dune thing was just lame. Like I
think what you need is you need more Timothy Oliphant. And I think he needs to be in.
No. I think that's it.
He needs to be in every week.
Mandalorian, not the Timothy show.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's just my.
And what's the
Mandalorian?
Here's my complaint. The Mandalorian is supposed to be taking care of the child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's called The Child. And he has him. Put the blue wire in the red wire, put the red wire in the blue wire, and he don't put them together because the kid almost electrocutes himself.
Yeah,
The
he did
fuck?
electrocute himself. Yeah.
It was clearly not the main battery or the main engine, kind of like.
I don't care. You don't. Electricity affects everyone differently.
I know. I'm an electrical engineer person. It's a side hobby.
Taught on YouTube, and I graduated.
And I moved over to electrical engineering.
No, I didn't like it. Didn't like that part at all. I said, you're putting the kid's life in danger. I just didn't like it.
It was probably my least favorite episode of the series.
Wow!
Like I can't think of another episode that
I tip of the hat to you, my friend. I felt like I was being hard on this episode. I wanted to like it. I watched.
It should be hard on Bob.
Well, easy. Bob hasn't had a hard on in at least 20 years.
Yeah, he's pretty old. Yeah,
he is 80, right? 80.
Popping the blue pills.
Sorry, didn't hear the tree.
Something else was crashing.
Okay. I mean, but here's the thing. That being said, and I made the statement it's probably my least favorite episode of the series. Yes, but it still was watchable. It was enjoyable, and it's part of the overall story, which is great. It was not their best work, in my opinion.
Are they trying to get, because they know that it's a financial boom to have the child? Are they trying to make him cuter and more interesting and more interaction, like when he throws up the blue shit all over himself? Because
that was cute, but
that was cute. That was funny.
But he's been loved and hated this season.
But I'm saying, are they doing that because they want to sell more Baby Yodas, especially during Christmas?
It's almost as if Disney is out to make money.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, are we going to focus on the story? Are we going to focus on the dollars? Yes. That's what I'm asking.
I think Disney, if you know Disney's track record, you'll know the answer to that one.
Well, I get that because I've been to Disneyland. You come off a ride. Oh, there we go. There's
fuck Disney for a second. Fuck Disney for a second. That's why Star Wars was made.
Well, not originally. I mean, they're all out there to make money, but like,
I get it. It's a business.
Like you've seen that, you probably read up and you've seen that Toys of the 80s or whatever it was. Like they realized what an incredible cash flow they had coming in with Star Wars. Yeah. That was like one of the first like real mass marketed, mass produced like toy sale movie. Yeah. Like it's still to this day is probably in the top. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming.
I get that's why the Ewoks and all the other crap.
Yeah.
Let's stop shitting on everything.
Hey, no, I'm not shitting on it. That's business. That's what you do. I'm just saying that was George Lucas. George Lucas screwed up that toy deal. He lost a ton of money on it. That's just
for what toys?
For the making. Didn't he sign like a deal that like killed him, or was it the opposite?
It's the opposite. That's what it was. That's what he requested. Like he basically signed over the first film.
That's right.
Because at the time there was a lot of sequels being made.
Yeah.
And in exchange he got the exclusive rights to own all the marketing and merchandise.
So my point is that it's not just Disney. I mean, it's George Lucas. Like
it's anybody, and I would do the same thing if we could market Matt's Dead Neighbors. I'd be all over it.
You clearly are. And before those dead neighbors come back to life, my
is that
2
really
cents.
Cranberry juice behind you, or
no? That's Iberry Paul.
You have bodies in there.
Cranberry sauce.
Everybody can hear my thoughts on Owen and Bruce, but the long and short of what I felt about it is that this episode felt more like a TV show of Star Wars, where the other episodes felt more cinematic to me. They had a cinematic pacing.
Yeah, the
they
prior
had a
episode,
lot
I think I mentioned this on Own and Brews. The prior episode was like the closest to Star Wars for me. Like it was, I felt it. Like I felt like I was watching a Star Wars movie.
So
this one definitely felt like something. Like I agree with Matt. It was like a TV, like a network TV.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an 18 moment. Like, oh shit, you got that van together really quick, so you can fight off those marauders. Like, I don't know how two mechanics get that thing working that fast. But anyway.
And put a tracker in there.
Mm-hmm. And put a tracker. Yeah, who's got time for that? Nobody's tracking these days.
It was the oldest trick in the book.
Not
put
this
the
ship.
tracker on the ship.
One thing that we did last week, we're doing again this week, is that we're keeping the show to an hour to limit our ads.
You can thank our corporate overlords.
and we're doing the other bonus episode, providing it to our patrons. You can still join us live, and I
just saw Jack's background. He's just willing it into existence.
Jack's the cute one. Chris is the smart one. And
what'd I do?
Nothing. I was just picking on you for being so
well, when
observant.
you said Chris is the smart one, we all kind of went, what?
I was curious where he's going with that.
I'm just here to name
Jack's the
shit.
cute one. Chris is the smart one. I'm like, well, what's the other two?
Yeah,
There's
I
not
was
much
actually thinking about Chris the other day about the quote from Game of Thrones. Like, what does he say about about drinking or something like that? I was just thinking about that.
I know things.
I drink and I know things. I was thinking about that with Chris. Like, I drink and I name things as opposed to I know things. So,
I will tell you more about my drinking on the extra Patreon.
There we go. See. We will get into more stuff in the bonus. But hey, the patron hour though, or the bonus, or however long we go,
the patron hour,
that's commercial free, so we don't have to interrupt it with those like annoying commercial breaks. So, but to finish out this show, you can send us feedback though to RCADcast at
Gmail.
There you go.com, and you can help rate and review us on iTunes. We appreciate that. Go over to jandjack.com and click on the patron link. Become a patron at any level. There are a few patrons, though, that make this Thanksgiving totally special, right? And those patrons are Tax Tofurkey Roast. I'm digging in on that, Tack. So, you know me, I'm a vegetarian. Eckhart, Hold the Richter Sauce. I don't know why.
Is that
Ed,
rectum sauce? What?
The rectum, fairly newer. No, Eckhart, hold the. I was thinking of Worcestershire sauce, maybe.
Worcestershire. Come on, to Worcestershire. Worcestershire.
Ed, the creeping stuffing carrier. Maggie's magnificent mashed potatoes.
I agree with. Hey, can we stop here? I agree with Will.
This is what happens when you put a vegetarian in charge of Thanksgiving themed names.
Yes.
All right, blame it on Joe Cranberry sauce. Huh?
Hey. How strict are you? So, like, if you had like a pecan pie or some kind of pumpkin pie, and you had marshmallows on top because marshmallows had gelatin in it, are you that strict, or would you eat marshmallows?
No, I would still eat marshmallows.
Okay.
We could say
could the marshmallows be funny?
Sweet potato sweet potato with marshmallow Maggie. No, that doesn't work. It's
you already did Maggie.
Okay, I did. On to Joe Cran.
Bob
it didn't work out the first time.
Oh.
And lastly, Generous Greg's Gravy. It's the best in the biz. Thank you.
That's a bit.
I got to tell you, Matt, I love you dearly, but this was your worst. Did you have this written down ahead of time?
No, I didn't.
Did you just compliment Greg's Gravy?
Greg's Gravy.
It's
Greg's Gravy. Thank you, Greg, for being here.
Write it down at all.
And before we forget,
here's the line.
The broadcast.
And here's Matt.
Before we forget, the broadcast.
Why are you giving them crap? They are the broadcast.
The broadcast is celebrating their 200th episode today.
Congratulations!
So congratulations!
Hey, congrats! How many?
And you know what number we're on? Nobody fucking knows.
I have no idea. How many episodes have we done?
We're on 105 for
There's so
RCAD,
many, it's ridiculous.
But Married Man Show, there was a bunch in there too, so who knows? So,
well, if you're counting Married Man, it's got to be.
Yes, Taxgiving. I was trying to work with that.
Mick 94.
There's Eric. Eric's in the chat. Another Colts fan. We're everywhere now. Did you text him and spoil him the game? Did you say?
No, I didn't text him to spoil the game. I'm sure he was there.
So tonight's episode was educational. That's for sure.
A little bit.
And I have to wrap this thing up. This was a great show.
So what's the title of this episode? If a tree falls on Matt's car, does anybody care?
I thought it'd be What About Bob? But
Don't ask Bob.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Fuck Bob, but I don't know if we can get away with that.
Yeah, exactly.
F Bob.